of faith is disturbing.
Believe it.
What's going on, Geeks? You're listening to episode 405 of the Geeks Race podcast. My name is Cody Armour. I'm here with Jonathan Nichols.
What's up?
And this week, we're geeking out about the future of DCU and Andor. And also the Avatar. I'm really excited for the Avatar stuff. I'll be honest.
Me too.
Apologies for the last couple weeks. Funny enough, for those who are following along on the Soup Saga, it had nothing to do with it. I promise.
Don't let them lie to you.
But I had a stomach bug, and it's so funny that like the bits. If you watch this podcast, if you connected the dots, you definitely would come to that conclusion. But no.
See, what actually happened was I got a text from Cody, and he's like, "I think I'm dying," and I was like, "It's the soup," and he's like, "I swear it's not the soup." And I went over to his house, and the soup was crawling out of the pot.
Yeah, the soup attacked me.
And I had to fight it with Clorox and like bleach and stuff. And
perpetual soup. Funny enough, that same week did die. So when you're making, for those who don't know, I was making a perpetual soup. I always put it at the end of the podcast, and some people are like, "What are you talking about?" Perpetual soup is a soup that you keep cooking, just perpetually, and it made it about 6 weeks. The week that I did get sick, I kind of stopped paying attention to it, and needed to keep adding water to it because water evaporates when it gets hot. And so it was just this molten, like, burnt, chunky swamp at the bottom of my crock pot. And we decided there was no saving that. So the provincial soup is over. Made it 6 weeks. And then, after having a stomach bug that everyone else at work had as well, so it was another soup, I promise, my wife and I got COVID. And it hit hard. I felt kind of bad because I think I could have probably, like, if I really mustered, I could have podcasted that first week. COVID week, I was like, I need to sleep. I'm still having a hard time. Like, can't taste anything, and I think it's the bouts of exhaustion for me is the worst part of COVID. It's been over a week. I feel fine most of the time, and then every once in a while, actually right now is one of those moments. I'm really kind of like mustering energy. You just feel like so tired. I just want to sleep forever. So feeling better now. I'm on the up and up. Everything's fine. Got to do a lot of geeking out, so we'll get into all of those things. What have you been playing this week? Or last few weeks?
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yeah, eat perpetual soup.
Yes, that's
Hunter
a
stew,
staple
right?
of the game. Yeah, and I 100% got thrown into the stocks for stealing people's soup.
You could just come over to my
3
house
times
and had some.
But you had COVID, so
Yeah, that's true.
it was stomach bug from the soup.
Yeah,
And
you
then
probably
if you connect
don't
the
want to go
dots-
to someone's house and eat their soup when they say they have a stomach bug.
If you connect the dots, what he's saying is he got a stomach bug, and then he got a mysterious COVID. I'm starting to connect the dots here with the soup, but anyway.
Yeah. It's that
But yeah,
meme, he's got the sticky notes and the string theories.
Fantastic game. I am unashamed to say I put 150 hours into it since it launched. So,
dang. Cool.
Yeah. Very, very good. Painfully historically accurate in certain areas. And,
Is it a little slow? It feels like it would be a little slow.
The first 12 hours is just the tutorial.
Okay.
And there's a whole first section of the map.
I've
and
beaten
they're
games
all-
in 12 hours.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but by the end of the first game, you're like this really competent sword fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, I feel pretty confident. And they have this really logical way of going, hey, we need to build you back up. And it's part of the story. And so you got to spend all this time, and you're like, man, this map's huge. And you're like doing all this stuff, and you're learning how to stealth, and you got to like figure out how to like basically gather resources. And then you get to a point and they're like, actually, that was the tutorial. Here is the opening credits. And then it goes to a whole other chunk of the
Crazy.
game. And then it opens up and it's like, oh, so yeah, that map is actually like little bitty compared to the main map.
Huh.
And yeah, it's I
That's cool.
had several moments where I was like, I'm about to beat this game, and then it just kept going. But it's really good. Like I was like locked in, like staring at the
That's good.
screen.
I felt
So
that way with the first God of War. Not the first God of War, but God of War 4. It wasn't necessarily that I thought it was going to beat the game, but they're like, oh yeah, you're just going to go, to the top of this mountain. And I'm like, okay.
yep.
And I thought that was just the next mission. And then it gets derailed. And then it gets derailed some
hmm
more. And I was like, I don't. It took me probably 6+ hours before I was like, I don't think I'm getting to that mountain till the end of this game.
Yeah, that was that's actually I don't know how to dance around spoilers, but I'll try to. Because if you played the first game, because this takes place immediately after the first game. But it's basically like, hey, you're tasked with doing A, but then B happens, and you're like, well, that's just a mild inconvenience. That's fine. And then it just goes completely off the rails.
Mm.
And so you think like, oh, I'm just trying to complete this one task, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because that's how the first game is. It's like you have one goal and that's it. And so I was like, okay, so it's kind of gonna be like the first one where it's really good, but it's just you have this one goal in mind. And then like 2 hours in, you start going, I don't think I'm gonna complete that task. And then you're like, and by the end of the game, I was like, I completed that task, but that was not the actual story, and it just totally
Yeah.
derails. And it's actually
That's so funny.
humorous the way they do it. It's funny. So
That's
I didn't
cool.
expect that, but
Yeah. It's a frustrating storytelling, but it's good. Like, it's not necessarily bad storytelling. It's just like,
Mhm.
okay. You got me.
Yeah, they do it in a way where it's not like fetch quest, where they're like, hey, just go get
Yeah.
A and B and come back to complete it. So that's good.
That's good. Cool. It looks like a lot of fun. I've seen some trailers and stuff. TikTok really wants me to play it. It does seem up my
Just give
alley.
in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I am. Let's see things happen. I got sick, like I said, and so I downloaded Hellblade 2. I've been
Nice.
wanting to play it for a long time, and the computer was out in the living room, which is not something that happens very often. And so I was playing it on my TV, and it's such a good game. For those of you who haven't played Hellblade, it is a rated R horror game. I don't play horror games. I don't like horror games at all. But it is about it was Viking, so on brand for me. And it's about a Celtic woman who has some mental disabilities, and she I'm going to spoil some of like the beginning, the story elements to this game. Um, but to the first one, you banish yourself because you believe that you're cursed, and that's why you have all these mental things. It's like you're an old Celtic, from like Norse, times, and so um, you banish yourself and you come back to your village to find it completely destroyed. You had a fiance, I believe, and the fiance's killed. And so you're like, man, if I was here, I could have fought and like helped. And so you're like, I'm gonna go after I think the gods of the people that killed my village, destroyed my village. I don't remember why you go after the god specifically, but you end up doing so. And so the entire adventure is you going after the gods of these people that destroyed your village and stuff. And you have no idea what's real and what's not because she has dementia and she has schizophrenia and all these other issues going on. And you get to kind of experience that as the player. So the voices will be really crazy as you're hearing them. There's a documentary on YouTube you can look up. It shows how accurate they try to be with all of the mental illnesses that she has. And so there'll be a point where, like something really easy in a game, right, is just walking across a plank, and usually you have to kind of like balance yourself and make sure you don't fall off as you're walking across. Super simple task. It happens a lot of very big game trope. Well, in this, you're doing that, and that should be easy, but you've got voices going like, "Don't look down. You're gonna die. You could fall off right now, and you would be gone forever. You shouldn't have been up here. You shouldn't have come at all." And they're just like swarming you the entire time. Um, it is a very eye-opening game. I learned a whole bunch about mental illnesses. It gave me a new perspective, and so The sequel came out. I think it's Xbox exclusive, but it's on Game Pass, and it's been out for quite a while. But I think since July of this year, maybe even sooner than that, maybe in May. But I got a few hours in, like just the beginning of the game, kind of played through, got to the first challenge, and just I had to stop because not feeling good. I did not have the mental capacity to deal with the emotional overload that you
Mm.
were given in that game. You definitely need to be in a really like good headspace to play it, because it is dark and it really messes with you. Like it really gets into your psyche. So definitely recommend.
That's-
There's no nudity or anything. There's a lot of violence. I don't think there's any nudity that I can remember. But know that you're dealing with some really heavy topics. Yeah.
Sounds really good.
So, because that became way too much, way too fast, I downloaded Grand Theft Auto Online.
Mm.
Never played Grand Theft Auto Online. The last GTA game I played was actually San Andreas. I didn't play GTA 5 because it kind of came out around the time that like I had become a Christian. Just crazy how long ago that was. I'm trying to think when GTA 5 for sure. I'm gonna look that up. I was on fire enough that I was like, I shouldn't play that. I don't want the content that's in that. Release date. I'm just curious. 2013. Yeah, so I would have been a year out of high school. Um, so yeah, that pretty much lines up. And so I just decided not to play it. And even now, I didn't even play the campaign. Not saying you can't play the campaign if you're a Christian. I just like didn't want that content after knowing what was in San Andreas. But when I played San Andreas in middle school and like my early years of high school, what I would do is grab a motorcycle and I would just like drive the motorcycle off, like ramp off stuff all the time and do all the races and things. I love the races. And so I'm really enjoying that part of GTA Online is like you can kind of do whatever you want in this game. It's almost Ready Player One-esque in the sense that you can just kind of like you have this character and then you have this freedom in this world to do what you want. Um, so I've been doing video gamey stuff, but you can stay away from the strip clubs and things easy enough in the GTA Online if you're trying. And so, still committing crimes. I don't know. That's almost every video game. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still street racing and I'm still shooting people because the mission tells me to. But
I mean, that's part of the fun, but
yeah, I'm not that convicted in it. I just didn't want like, you can go to the police department in San Andreas and get a phallic object and beat them with it. And I was like, I just don't need, just don't need that early in my Christian walk.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like that with that game and Mortal Kombat. I didn't play Mortal Kombat because I really enjoyed the fatalities, and that made me really uncomfortable when I had first like, you know, found faith. But no, GTA Online's been a lot of fun. And you don't need to play the campaign if you don't want to. You can just jump in and then run around and spend way too much. That's bugging me. I'll bring that up. I have a spending problem in real life. Finances have always been a struggle for me and my wife. We're figuring things out. We moved to an entire state to realize that we had a financial spending problem. We thought we were making enough money, and then we went to a new state, and we're like, oh, we still don't have enough money, even though everything's way cheaper. Maybe we're spending too much. We're working on it. But GTA Online, you need to like find your first $1 million. That's like a really big thing that people push. It's like don't buy any cars or anything until you get to your $1 million, because then you can buy like new properties and things that'll get you more money, so you have more freedom in the game. I have like 5 cars. No way to really get money.
Yeah, it's I I've played GTA Online since the 360, I think.
Isn't that crazy?
No, I think I got it on the Xbox One when it launched like a year later on next gen. And yeah, I I always was broke, and until the PC version came out, and I think I got it free on Epic at one point, and it was like Criminal Enterprise Pack. Here's all this free stuff and $1 million, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what it's like to have money in this
Yeah.
game.
I think that's
It,
now like $10. I think it's Criminal Enterprise Pack is what it is, and I've been told to buy
yeah.
that, and the game will really open up if I do. So thinking about it because it's not just the money, but you also get like a steady stream of income coming in.
hmm I got a confession. Um, Back around Christmas, they had a sale on Steam, and it was $30 for the $100 Shark Card bundle with the
Oh,
Criminal Enterprise Pack.
there you
And I already owned it on Epic, but I was like, $30 and I can get $10 million
go.
and just have another copy of the game. So I
Why not?
may have done that, but yeah.
Yeah, I found this. I was just going every once in a while. I just go on PlayStation Plus and just see what games are free and available right now. And this was and, about time, honestly.
hmm
But
Yeah, it's GTA 6 is about to launch, but
yeah, that was kind of my thing too. Was I figured I would play this a little bit before GTA 6 comes out. That way I can maybe jump into that game when it's ready. I really enjoyed Vice City, so
Mm. It's I really enjoy the GTA 5 map.
Mhm.
Because like San Andreas kind of like re-envisioned, and it's like
Yeah,
LA.
I've been really curious.
I
I
like it.
haven't seen like is the San Andreas map in? Uh,
Mhm.
okay. I was wondering if it was the same.
So I was confused because I kept hearing that, and so people would overlay the maps, and like the streets line up except for like two streets, but they're the same names. And apparently, at some point, they decided to reboot, and I think it was with GTA 4.
Okay.
And so they kind of basically like technically San Andreas, the game is canon, but they redid the map and changed some stuff. Uh,
Got it. Okay. That's
I went on
interesting.
a little rabbit hole like 2 months ago, like just on Reddit, like reading everything about it because I
I
was
was in like a
confused.
waterway. I like was driving in a waterway, and I just remembered like so specifically doing that in San Andreas. And so I was wondering, I was like,
hmm
oh, San Andreas is in. I mean, like Los Santos is in San Andreas. I was like, so maybe, but I didn't know. Makes sense.
Yep.
I think that's another question: is San Andreas the game? Is it Los Santos the city you're in?
Yeah, so that's why I was confused because there's like
They
San
must have it
Andreas like
backwards.
street names. Yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly,
I'll be curious.
it confuses me.
I'll do
Yeah.
some googling. All I know is I've got the generally Dukes of Hazard car, and it's all armored up because it was free, and I dyed it. I dyed it. I painted it purple. Uh,
Nice. Fitting.
yeah, love it. It's black with a purple pearlescent, and I don't care if I spent too much money on it.
It's a good old Duke of Death.
Yeah,
It's, in my opinion, the best car in the game.
it's so cool. I got like a normal Duke. I paid money for that one, and then realized that you can't do any modding to it. Really, like none of the shops
Mm,
really let you let loose. So there is
yeah.
a I don't remember what it's called now, but it's basically a 1970s Challenger
Mm.
in Benny's shop. And so I'm gonna gun for that. After I get my $1 million and get some money coming in, I'll buy the car. Make it a lowrider, soup it up and all that.
The
Uh,
best is the I think it's Ko Perico. I never pronounce it right, but you have to have a submarine, and then you can set it up. But you can do it by
okay.
yourself. But it's a big heist, so you can get like $1 million on your own every time you do the heist.
Oh, that's cool.
But I think you have to have like 2,500,000 to buy the submarine.
Got it.
So it's
Okay.
kind of expensive. But once you get that, like
And then you
you
can
can
get
just
money
make all
coming
the
in.
money. Yeah,
That's
you can
cool.
make billions.
I'm sure I will have it all figured out as soon as GTA 6 comes out.
Yep.
um, but it's been very cool. They need more Viking stuff. Wasn't able to make myself very Viking looking. Got a like
Yeah.
fur jacket on, and then my they had an undercut, so I was able to get the hairstyle down.
When you were creating the parents, the whole like
Mm.
we could pick your genealogy. Did you see
That was
John
weird.
Marston from Red Dead?
No.
So I don't know if that's a PC only Easter egg, But when bought it on Steam, so I actually lost all my progress through the Epic version because
Uh-huh.
my
That sucks, but-
Steam Rockstar account, or my Steam was linked to a different Rockstar account I didn't even know I had. And so it was a whole thing. Yeah. They told me they can merge them, and yeah, I got in a fight with the people and the tech support. But yeah, so I had to restart. And so I was like clicking through the dads, and I'm like, wait, it says John Marston. They didn't
That's
have
cool.
John Marston.
Huh. That's wild. I know the revolver that I have right now, because it's like $250,000 if you get so many headshots with it, is if you get that, not only you get the money, but you get a Red Dead gun
Oh, that's
version
cool.
of it.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's neat.
That's
But
really,
you could be
really
John
cool.
Marston, and then you could have the gun, and you might have John Marston's pistol that he used back in the day. I'm hoping
Yeah.
Saint Denis. I doubt it, but I would really love Saint Denis to be in GTA 6. No, it's Florida,
That would
not
be,
Louisiana.
yeah.
So maybe that won't happen, but I think that would be really cool. I'd love to see how Saint Denis has grown into like the New Orleans, of modern day that it could be. I think it would be neat. Cyberpunk is a good game, but I kind of almost want Rockstar to make a Cyberpunk game.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would
Yep.
just work really well. They've got the past, they got the present day. Just make a really futuristic one, I think would work really well.
I want to say at one point I read they were making a Viking game or something, or a medieval game.
That would be crazy.
And of course, I'm pretty sure they canned it for this because they're gonna make GTA 6. But
yeah, well, Red Dead's so slow. I can't imagine how much slower a medieval game would be for them.
yeah,
A Viking GTA
Project.
game, though.
It was called Project Medieval.
That's cool.
So
I
don't
would have
know if
been
it-
so down. Their humor is so weird. That too with Grand Theft Auto. That's another reason I didn't play like the campaign. I don't know if I just have like grown up or what. Humor's so stupid in these games.
I have a love-hate relationship with it because it's very immature, but it makes me laugh, and I get upset that I still find it funny.
I find the radio shows funny still. But like maybe it's just bad writing with the GTA Online like story stuff. I'm just
Mhm.
like, this is so stupid.
So the campaign's better. It's one of those things where it's like fairly complex story about the actual consequences of being a criminal.
That's cool.
And so yeah, so it's actually a lot different. I didn't know what to expect, and someone was like, "Hey, you should play this. It's a lot more. It has a lot more depth than you would expect."
I like that about
Because I only
Cyberpunk
knew that.
was
Yeah,
really demonized it all.
and so I was like, man, by the end of it, it kind of makes you think, like, oh yeah, this has a lot more to it than making money and robbing banks and stuff.
That's neat.
So,
GTA 6's story seems really interesting to me already.
mhm.
The two characters, the Bonnie and Clyde aspect to it. I'm like, it could be good.
Yeah, I think we're off on a bit of a tangent, but
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like they're taking the Red Dead route where it's going to have a lot of humor, but it's not GTA 5 humor. It's going to be more like Red Dead, where it's
Yeah,
more of a serious, compelling story with humor mixed in.
Red Dead story was probably one of my favorites in video games in a long time.
Yeah,
I
same.
I don't want to give anything away. The big moment that happens, I didn't realize was I thought it was like an event happening in the game, and not a story beat, and like sat there trying to fix it for a minute before I was like, oh, this is like part of the story. Got it. But it
Mm,
just felt so natural when it happened.
yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. When we get into the gaming news, though, that's all that I've been playing. I'll let you take the gaming news if you want.
Yeah. Trying to get it pulled back up here. So, James Gunn had a little interview
Had a lot to say.
and a whole lot to say with it. And he said that DCU games are a couple years away, which is very intriguing because
Yeah.
games take a long time.
I know. Like, there's a lot of people going, "Oh man, that's so long from now." But like, games can take like 6 or 7 years to make a lot of time.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of theories. But first, they did meet with Rocksteady. Almost
Okay.
said Rockstar. But Rocksteady and NetherRealm,
I've heard
who make
rumors of a Batman Beyond Rocksteady, right? Game.
yeah,
And
yep.
that would be so good.
S- So the question is, are they just putting the DCU banner on every DC game, or are they all going to be tie-ins somehow?
Yeah, because they initially
So
marketed it as tie-ins, but Batman Beyond would be hard to tie into the rest of the world.
s- so there's actually a rumor that they might actually just be doing a tie-in Batman game, but in the style of the Arkham games.
Okay, well, that'd be cool.
which which would make sense to me because Kevin Conroy passed away a few years ago,
Mhm.
and so they wouldn't have him to be Batman, and it would be kind of weird to continue.
Yeah,
But
we know that.
who knows? My other theory is the Wonder Woman game has been under some turmoil
Mm-hmm.
and in the development cycle, and I could see them just turning that into a
A Wonder Woman tie-in
tie-in.
game.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm so interested in this universe. We're gonna talk quite a bit about what James Gunn, I think, in movies as well, and yeah, it's just like I feel like we keep talking about when this universe takes off, and I'm just so ready for it to actually start.
hmm Same.
Cool.
Then next we have the Assassin's Creed Shadows leaked.
It's crazy. A month, right?
Yep.
A month.
So, from my understanding, it was actual retail copies that got leaked.
Oh dang.
So, um, I was actually listening to a YouTuber talk about it today, and they were like, "Yeah, so when I worked at Best Buy, we would get games early, and
Mhm.
they'd be in a pallet in the back, and people would just kind of like sneak copies out, and no one would know until we do inventory and put them on the shelves on
Yeah.
launch day." And I've actually had instance, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when Avengers came out, my little brother pre-ordered it, and that happened to him. So it was at GameStop, and someone had stole a bunch of copies, and they couldn't honor his pre-order,
That's
and it was a whole
sad.
thing. Went all the way up to court. Yeah, and so that's kind of funny that it happened locally. But this happened, and this has been one. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been one of those games that they've had a rough time.
Yeah, like
They've had
not
a
everyone's super
it's
excited about it anyways. Ghost of Tsushima is already a better game. I haven't played it yet, but I think it's really funny that it's already streaming. Like people are bold.
I know. They're bold. They're throwing copies up on eBay and
Yeah,
not using burner accounts. They're using like their regular accounts. So yeah.
yeah, it's wild. Um, so yeah, unless you've got friends in high places, expect the game in a month. If not, yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Play Ghost of Tsushima while you wait.
Yep.
um, but we'll get into movies then. Oh, you mentioned Cobra Kai for your TV shows. I just saw that. I watched Cobra Kai as well. We'll get into movies. You didn't see any movies this week?
Nope,
Or-
didn't watch anything.
So I watched. I'm trying to think of the last time I was in here. Did I ever talk about the Gladiator movies?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Watched Gladiator movies, and then we watched Captain America: Brave New World, which is a great movie. Don't let people dissuade you. If you liked Captain America: Civil War, you'll like this. It's basically the same movie. I know a lot of people are upset about that, but that's Marvel's whole thing. Like, if you look at all of like the first phase of Marvel, it was, hey, we're gonna take the main character and then he's just gonna fight a bigger, stronger version of himself and somehow win. Uh, overcome adversity. That was Hulk, Iron Man, um, Thor in a way, uh, and then Ant Man was that way. Um, Repeating storylines is like kind of how Marvel has sustained itself. So I will say it is a little bit repetitive, the entire story. You don't really see this in the ad. So I hope this isn't too spoiler for people. But it is, our new Sam Wilson Captain America, and he's got a friend, uh, and that friend kind of goes rogue due to mind control, and you find out, uh, I don't know if I want to say that, but you find out what happens, and it's just very, um, it's very reminiscent story wise of Civil War in a lot of ways. I don't think that necessarily makes it a bad movie. It was still enjoyable. Um, the CGI for the Red Hulk is really good. It's a lot of fun. I think we could have maybe seen a little bit more of the Red Hulk, but uh, yeah, I would definitely say if you're an MCU fan and you've seen the rest of it, you might as well watch this one as well. I don't think it's a bad time to. I don't think it's necessarily like this is the time to jump ship. I will say I think the title is a little misleading, I guess,
Hmm.
or just not. I just don't think it's named very wisely. There's nothing really brave about this movie. It definitely plays it safe. Um, it doesn't open up a brave new world by any means. Like it doesn't like really open up any new storylines that could be real crazy. It definitely feels like just another Marvel movie. So in that sense, maybe people won't like that. But I thought it was weird to call it Brave New World and then it just be um, this is in the trailer. I'm trying to think of what's in the trailers, what's not. Like the Brave New World part of it is the introduction of adamantium, and it's like okay, that doesn't open up a whole new world for everybody. Um,
Uh, so I didn't like Civil War. So
you what?
I didn't like Civil War.
Oh,
Captain America: Civil War. I didn't
well, you
like
might
it.
not like this. It's the
Uh,
same movie.
yeah, I know. I've watched like 90% of it on YouTube Shorts. By the way, like someone just started uploading it, so I was like watching it. It's not the best way to watch the movie.
That's
I'm
funny.
actually gonna go to theaters and watch it.
Yeah, it's short.
But I yeah, that's a whole nother tangent though about Civil War because
Yeah, Sidewinder is that his name?
yeah, I think so.
Genocito. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Really amazing actor. He was
Yeah.
definitely underused. And that was unfortunate, but um, yeah, no, I think it was a decent movie. If you didn't like Civil War, I don't know what to tell you. I will say too, end credit scene, um, probably one of the most pointless. Like it was trying, besides the obviously pointless ones that are trying to be pointless. This one was like trying to give me the next chapter, and I didn't understand why we got it at all. Um,
Yeah.
the probably most useless end credit scene I've ever seen.
Um, I think for me, the problem I had with Captain America: Civil War was the fact that it felt like Batman versus Superman, the story,
Hmm.
and I was like, wait, these are the same movie, and
Yeah,
um, but I get why people like it. I get why people really like it. I just feel like Captain America: Winter Soldier set the bar so high,
yeah. Winter Soldier was so
and
good.
then but I don't fault people for liking Civil War. I get why people like it. I
Yeah.
just didn't enjoy it as much. But I want to see the new Captain America. I watch all the Marvel films anyway, so
I do wish that. I wish that it would have taken cues from Winter Soldier. Uh, not that we need to replicate storylines, and I'm not saying like you
mhm.
should be original, but I would have taken a Winter Soldier uh, repaint over a Civil War repaint any day. I think that would be really
Yeah,
cool. Um, especially a really good introduction to Sam Wilson's Captain America that way, I think.
yeah. It's not doing too well. I don't think. I think actually the overall Rotten Tomatoes is pretty rough.
I believe it. I'm super easily pleased with movies. I am not. I will very seldom say terrible things about a movie. Like you shouldn't watch it. It was a waste of time.
Yeah, I think they're so subjective
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
And I'm such a
And
fanboy.
if you enjoy it. Yeah, it's 49%
Yeah,
critic score,
I don't think it was
80%
that bad.
audience. Yeah.
I think my
Well, the audience
favorite
score
part
is
of the movie
80%.
is a line. I always gotta pause and think about like, am I spoiling anything? It's a line, but he's like, some to the effect of, he's like, "What? You gonna do this all day?" And Captain America, his face was like, "I could do this all day." He's like, "No, I've got crap to do." It's so funny.
um, I have a hard time believing the Marvels has a better critic score.
This movie is better than the Marvels.
Yeah. The Marvels has a 62% critic score.
Yeah,
So,
this is a better movie than the Marvels. Yeah, it's in theaters a little bit longer. I'm very excited for Thunderbolts.
yeah, same.
This movie made me really excited for Thunderbolts, and there's nothing necessarily in the movie that would make me go like, I can watch Thunderbolts now. I really like the grounded in the sense of like, it's not like super multiverse faceted.
Mm-hmm.
We're just superhero, like back to superhero movies, and I kind of just want that. And
Yep.
really good. I will stay going to that. I think that superhero fatigue is real. But like Guardians 3 is a really good example of what they could be doing to fix that. Like, good writing would make these movies good. We see so many like excuses from producers and directors now, like, oh, there's superhero fatigue, and it's just the consumer's never happy, and it's like, well, if we make good movies, we will like them.
Which that brings up a great point. Part of the interview with James Gunn and Peter Safran, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Mhm.
Their whole thing is that only people that are allowed to work on the DCU projects are people who actually read the comics and enjoy the characters,
That's awesome.
which is like a polar opposite of what Marvel's been dealing with
Yeah, they
for a
literally
while.
told them
Yeah.
certain. I can't remember what movie it was. Like, don't watch. I think it was a TV show, and they said,
Mm-hmm.
don't read any comics. Like, stay
Yep.
completely. And it was like, why? Or no, I'm
I
thinking of
think
Star Wars. That's not Marvel. I think it was Star Wars. Um,
there
I don't remember what show it was, but there was a show and they're like, don't watch any Star Wars stuff.
there was also
Acolyte.
a couple of Marvel projects that was like that. It was like, yeah, just don't stay away from the comics.
Yeah, no, that's it.
So
It was the Acolyte. Acolyte. They told the director not to look at any Star Wars stuff and just kind of
that's crazy.
make it up. Yeah, I'm like, why would you want that?
Yeah.
Speaking of James Gunn, though, perfect segue. We got two news stories coming from that same interview. First of all, Batterson, Rob Pattinbat, is not DCU's Batman, which I'm kind of bummed about, but also makes sense. I think that like I like the idea of making a very grounded Batman, shoving him into like a really fantastical, super meta-human world. But I understand that probably is really hard to not make jarring. I think there's
Yeah.
humor in it. I've always said I think it'd be really cool to do like, you've got Batman and you have this such serious tone, and then you put him into like just the Looney Tunesy of like Superman's world.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost get like a Lego Batman ness to it,
Yep.
of just him being so overly serious that it's funny. It reminds me of like they would do with Hulk in like the original Avengers movie. And back in that day, like Hulk was so terrifying and vicious that like it was just goofy in this like really fun world.
Yeah.
Like him taking Loki and just beating him back and forth across the floor is like terrifying, but just so Hulk.
Yeah, I think they could have made it work, but I'm kind of glad that they're not, because that gives them an opportunity to just do full comic Batman, off the
Yeah,
wall, crazy villains, you know, cast someone a little bit different, not yeah.
that is.
I think it's a good opportunity.
I think my biggest hope with it is kind of the same vein like you're saying, is that we get like I say comic book, but I grew up on the cartoons, not really the comic books,
Hmm.
but I really want accurate portrayals of these characters. I'm really excited for the Superman because I feel like it's gonna really take from Justice League like Unlimited. I feel like it's just got that Superman vibe. Um,
Hmm.
and so I would love for Batman to have that Batman vibe from that world, which is not Robert Pattinson's Batman by any means. And my big worry was Joker too. Is like we have not seen a Joker that hasn't been someone taking creative liberties.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Nicholson's probably the closest one, and all of them have been great,
Yeah.
but they're not
I-
comic booky. Like,
I'm 100% same opinion. I grew up on the animated series, Batman the animated series, Justice
yeah,
League, the Batman, and then I got real heavy into the comic books, and yeah, nothing's touched it.
yeah. Like,
Um,
give me. I don't need someone to be super creative. I need you to watch Mark Hamill, and then just give me your best Mark Hamill like live action performance.
yeah,
I think it'll come off perfectly unhinged in that world. And so Robert Pattinson's Joker, I was like, I love everything about the Patterson universe, and I love that Joker for him, but I don't want that Joker in James Gunn's DCU.
yeah. It's interesting because Matt Reeves took a lot of inspiration from Lee Bermejo's. He's an artist, and he
Okay.
co-wrote a comic book called Joker,
Oh.
and it's actually the original inspiration for Heath Ledger's version of Joker too, because he
Okay.
had the mouth scars and stuff.
Hmm.
But he's more deformed in the comic book than how they took Heath Ledger's Joker,
Hmm.
and it's more in line with
Robert.
Barry Keoghan. Is that how you pronounce his name? But
Yeah,
yeah,
King.
Robert Pattinson's Joker,
Yeah.
and but also like the Batman's aesthetics comes from that same like story arc, because
Okay.
there's been several ongoing stories including that version of Batman, and it's actually not as grounded. Like they have Clayface, Man Bat, but Batman's super grounded. Like he's got armor, but it's
Mhm.
like very like hidden under his suit, but you can see like his actual plated armor and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And he doesn't have like a grapple gun. He's got like a rope he uses, but he's got like some gadgets, but he's also like it's tuned down to be more grounded. And I could kind of see them ending Robert Pattinson's Batman more like that, where maybe it could go that way a little bit, but it's
Hmm.
still gonna be super grounded. Might be a little bit of fantastical, just enough, but it's a that I don't necessarily think it has like a universe name. It's just every so often they'll drop a new graphic novel,
That's cool.
and it's in that line, and yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I think that like Ben Affleck's Batman was on the right track. Um, I think if we would have gotten like a movie in that world, it would have made a lot of sense. And so, since we didn't get that, maybe
Hmm.
that Joker still wasn't gave Jared Leto this like creative liberties and made his Joker real weird. Like, give me the comic book Joker, give me the Mark Hamill, give me the Mark Hamill Joker.
Yeah.
Um, but they talked about that movie was supposed to be very James Bondian. So it's
Hmm.
gonna be this noir, uh, in the sense of like he was still a detective trying to figure things out, but then it would be very James Bond in the action and the gadgets and stuff. And I was like, that would have been perfect for that Batman.
Yeah,
I
would have been great.
love, and Ben Affleck's Batman did a little bit of this too, in the Justice League War uh line of cartoon movies, animated movies. Batman has just got this really terrifying persona about him. He doesn't have to do anything. Usually
Hmm.
he's not talking. And it just is hilarious. I remember I think it's Justice League Dark, the animated movie, and there's these like ghosts trying to scare Batman.
Oh yeah.
And he like jukes one of them out and they like back away. They're like these demonic ghosts. And I'm like, yeah, that's Batman.
Yeah.
Scaring ghosts. um, but yeah. We'll see what the future holds. Uh James Gunn is not afraid to Think outside the box. We're getting a Clayface movie. We knew that. We knew it was gonna be a horror movie. Uh, I was excited. I don't know if I am. I will be optimistic and I will stay curious. But it'll be a rated R horror movie that is body horror, and body horror is what makes freaks me out. I hear body horror and I think The Fly for some reason, where he just slowly gets more and more disgusting. Um, if you've never seen The Fly, I don't necessarily recommend it. A guy is trying to teleport himself from one machine to another in this big scientific thing, and to do so, it takes all your molecular structure, pulls it apart, puts it in the next machine, and there's a fly in the machine with him, and so he fuses with the fly over the course of days. I think, I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie.
Ooh.
Do you not know that movie?
Mm-mm.
No.
Never watched it.
Oh, it's old. When did that come out? I wouldn't recommend it, but it was
86.
Okay.
Now I feel like I have to watch it.
it is Jeff Goldblum. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he just slowly, disgustingly turns into the Fly. He's not a superhero. He is, it's real gross. And I'm sure that's what this movie will be. Will be Clayface getting whatever turns him into Clayface, and him slowly just melting. And I thought it would be more of a face swap horror movie of he just looks like people and then kills them. Yeah, we'll see what we get with it. I'm really hoping that Wash, what's his name, gets it, the actor that's been playing him for a while now.
I think he is. I think that was announced.
Alan Tudyk.
I know. I can't. Yeah.
Think having Alan Tudyk in a role like that would be really cool, because Alan Tudyk always plays comedies.
Because he was in Creature Commandos as Clayface,
and he's the Clayface in the Harley Quinn show, I believe. I want to make sure that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, just for sure. Clayface actor. Yeah, Alan Tudyk. Also plays the Joker. I think I knew that. Yeah, so he's been in very comedic roles as Clayface. He was in a very dark role as Clayface in the Creature Commandos, and so now going to a horror. Just be really cool to get this one actor to really portray all these different versions of the same character. He doesn't really do a whole lot of talking in Creature Commandos, but it's still him. And then I probably should have started with this, but we had a good segue, so we didn't. He-Man has a first look for He-Man, played by Nicholas Galitzine. And if you look up that actor's name on Google Images, he doesn't look like someone big enough to play He-Man. In this still of just a guy's chest and bicep vein, he looks massive. So I don't know if he's just been juicing and hitting the gym, or if they're gonna use CGI to just make him huge. Because he's got to look little too. He-Man, he gets a sword and then he gets big. He hulks out. So
that's a great question. I bet they're gonna use a muscle suit.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure The Rock actually used one on the live action Moana film.
Okay.
There's actually some behind the scenes photos, and it looks like a muscle suit.
Okay.
So
very interesting. I didn't realize this cast. I was like, this movie's gonna be bad, right? But it has Alison Brie, Morena Baccarin. I don't know that, but Idris Elba and Jared Leto. And I can't say that I've seen a lot of good things with Jared Leto in them. But Jared Leto always plays something really interesting to me. I'm always very curious of his portrayal of anything.
Oh, so it started filming. I was under the impression it was already filmed or
Yeah, I thought so too.
had finished production.
We're already getting images.
Hmm.
I want to know who wanted to take this picture. It was like, just hold the sword quick. And we're just going to take this
Yeah.
shot of your chest. Hide your
Flex.
nipple with the blade.
Yeah. We got to keep it PG.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say, I don't think I finished it, but He-Man Revolution, really good. It's a continuation of the original 80s anime or cartoon. I think Kevin Smith produced it. It stayed very true to that 80s feel. Really good.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It has a very modern storytelling in the sense of like the bad guys aren't necessarily bad, and people are trying to like wrestle with their decisions and all of that good. All that stuff makes good TV.
I tried watching the original not too long ago. And I
That would
couldn't
be
get
hard.
through it. It was hard.
It's good,
was
and then
cheesy.
I'm really mad that I didn't help keep alive was the Thundercats reboot.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
Like the anime style Thundercats. I watched it way after it was canceled, and I really enjoyed it. It does not end well. Like it ends in the middle of the end of a season, but good show. That is all of the movie news that we have, though. So we can get into TV. You and I both watched Cobra Kai. Are you finished with Cobra Kai?
I am.
Nice.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
It ends so good, though. Did you like the ending?
I loved it.
Yeah. Good.
Yep.
I think that was a perfect way to wrap everything up. State of the namesake. I'm trying really careful here not to spoil anything because like some really big things happen that are really cool. I will say there is a point where LaRusso is trying to really channel his inner sensei, and I wish that he would have gotten a little more aggressive with it. I think both the actors in that scene could have made that scene a little more emotional, and I think it would have hit a little harder. But the writing on it, perfect. And I think they were capable. I don't know, they just kind of phoned that in. I was like, oh, that could have been such an emotional moment for both of them.
Here's a non-spoiler thing out of context, but I was expecting sweep the leg. I was waiting for that line, and it never came.
That would have been cool.
Those who have watched it, it'll make sense, and then those who have not, you'll figure it out.
Just
when you
hands
watch
him a broom.
Yeah.
Ah, man. For those who don't know from the movies, he's like, I gotta learn to sweep. And so he asked Mr. Miyagi how to sweep. Mr. Miyagi hands him a broom.
Yeah.
So good. I will also say, the next Karate Kid, I'm sad we didn't get her. I know that wasn't their choice. What was her name? I always forget. Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read a thing. They invited her on, had storylines for her. She didn't want any part of it.
Lame.
I didn't look that up. I almost wish I would have looked it up. Like, I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but I almost wish I would have looked it up for watching, because I was hoping, like, just in the stands, she would be, watching for some reason. Or watching it, like, on a TV somewhere. Just cut to her watching something.
Yeah.
Crazy that she want to be part of it. It's such a cool thing.
I know.
Her movie didn't do well, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe she's salty about that.
I would be.
You were like, I don't want any part of this. I'm very curious if, like, how much this next Karate Kid Legends, will tie into this. That movie's had a crazy journey because it was going to be, it wasn't going to have LaRusso in it at all. I can't remember the actor's real name. I'm just going to know him as LaRusso. It was going to be just, like a reboot without him, and then he got involved. I think he was producing it, but he wasn't going to be in the movie, if I remember correctly. And then they got Jackie Chan, so now they're making that Karate Kid canon, I assume. even though he's got like stunt wire acrobatics going on
Yeah.
in that movie. And the Russos obviously playing a really big role in this. So I'm really curious how they'll do that.
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, yeah.
He is 63 years old.
He is older than Miyagi was in the original Karate Kid movies.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So wild.
Well, he was like 30, wasn't he, in the first one?
Miyagi?
He was 20 something. No, Ralph Macchio.
Oh, okay.
He was old.
In the Karate Kid, he was 20 something?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's always been young looking.
He was 22,
I had no idea.
playing a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Like Hannah Montana's brother.
Yeah, and he's like 40.
Yeah.
Not really, but he was close.
I think he was in his 30s when he was filming.
That's weird.
Yeah. And then he was dating, in the show, obviously, high school girls. It was so odd.
Yeah.
They were actually high school age. Super weird.
Yeah.
Super uncomfy. But no, I love that universe. I'm sad that it's over. But it needed to end. It has definitely been dragged on for a while.
Yeah, and they set it up for spinoffs.
Yeah. I don't know if we
Like,
need spinoffs really, but
no. I think they left it open
yeah.
for the option. Yeah. But
Ready for Miguel to, give Miguel a few years and he can start his own dojo. I'll watch that.
mm-hmm.
Heavily invested in Miguel.
Yeah.
Miguel, like, I don't know, just his story arcs and stuff, like, really cared about him as a character.
Yeah, it was I don't want to go into spoilers, but let's just say they did a really good job at tying the first season into
Mhm.
this one.
Yeah.
Like, you could, because I got kind of concerned in between, because like after season 2, when Netflix bought it, they definitely kind of start shifting the focus of who were the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And partially had to do with like actors going working on bigger films. Like, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but the guy that plays Miguel, he was
Blue Beetle.
doing Blue Beetle
That was a
and
good
some other
movie, too.
stuff. Yeah, and so he definitely was more absent in some of the seasons, but yeah, it's just always been his story.
Yeah. He was
And
the next Karate
so-
Kid.
Yeah,
Yep. No,
so I was
100%.
concerned, but they did a good job.
Yeah, they wrapped it up really well. Yeah. We can talk about it after but I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've been watching is Delicious in Dungeon. That is a TVMA anime, and I hate that it's TVMA because it does not need to be. There is random, really weird nudity in it. That like the show would have been so great for like middle schoolers age, if not for that.
Mhm.
It's really goofy. It's really fun. Most of the times, it's very cute. In one of the episodes towards the end, he comes running out, and you see it all. But he's like, "I got to milk a minotaur." The other character's like, "You should keep that to yourself next time." It's so funny, but like, I didn't need to see a minotaur with 4 boobs, like, and like they're humanoid, so it's just it was so ridiculous.
Yeah. That's been on my watch list. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
It's good.
So
Always eat before watching.
good to know.
Rule in the house is we have to get some good like takeout before watching, because as soon as they start cooking, you're like, man, some like hole in the wall Chinese food sounds really good right now.
Yeah. Speaking of just random off the cuff nudity, have you watched My Hero Academia?
Yeah, I mean it's been a little while. I got through 5 or 6 seasons.
So like we're behind,
Uh-huh.
but it's funny because they kind of seem like the vibe kind of reminds me of the same.
Uh-huh.
And but like that show is one of those shows that started teetering where it's like, okay, it's like suggested. And then at one point I was like, wait, they're just nude.
Yeah.
It was like towards the later, and I'm like, wait a minute. But it was like random anyway. That made me
I think I
think
know
of
what
that
scene you're
because it
talking
was
about. She's like shape-shifting or something, or like in
yeah,
disguise, and then just not disguised. I'm like, are you naked right now?
yeah. But they get it. They sidestep the censorship rules barely because of some autonomy's missing
Yeah.
or anatomy's missing. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, I know
oh,
what you're talking about. It's super weird.
yeah,
I will say, Delicious Dungeon, I got through probably, like, there is a little bit of nudity in the actual intro of the show, if I remember correctly. But other than that, like, the show itself, I got through, I think, 10 or 12 episodes. And I was like, I don't understand why this is MA. Like, there's nothing, like, in the show that's MA. And then the farther in you get, the more that it, uh, kind of goes off the deep
Hmm.
end, I guess. But it's all really ridiculous for the most part. So, take that as you will. I'm mostly annoyed by it. I'm like, you didn't need to. My Hero as well. My Hero doesn't need to be that. My Hero is like Naruto. Although Naruto had, all the naked Naruto girls. I can't remember his sexy
yeah.
jujutsu or
I've actually.
whatever.
Oh yeah, I never even watched it, but
Ugh, I
uh,
I don't like Naruto either. But Naruto's got like
yeah,
I think in the first season, he practices. I think it's like sexy jujutsu or something, and it basically like it clones him. And I'm probably butchering this. I'm sorry for the Naruto fans, but it clones him, and then it clones him into like naked women. But they still have his face, and then they're covered up with clouds or steam or something from like the jujitsu happening, and
that's funny.
to distract the fighters. And I was like, you don't need this in a kid show.
No, but it's funny.
Yeah, yeah, it's so random. And I'm like, you don't need it in a kid show, and this is not an adult show. Like, I don't need to watch this. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for those who are watching Naruto to this day, but like, it's definitely geared towards children. Um,
yeah.
and not that great. I'll stand on that. I'll die on that hill. Um,
I never watched it because so many people in high school were into it
mhm.
that I was like, because I never watched anime until after I got out of college, and um, Attack on Titan was in its third season, and people are like, you gotta watch Attack on Titan. So I watched Attack on Titan,
Attack on
and
Titan's great.
it kind of like christened me into the anime
Ah,
genre,
gotcha.
and uh, but yeah, I was like, I'm not watching that. Like everyone, it was just I don't know. Everyone is trying to peer pressure me into it,
I
so I was like, I'm
tried.
never
I just find
watching
it
this.
annoying. I don't like that style of anime, I guess. I have a hard time with My Hero too. I really want to like My Hero, and I just have a really hard time getting into that like shonen style anime. Demon Slayer is
Yeah,
probably um, the closest I'll get into that kind of that world of anime. Um,
yeah, it's
I need more story. JJK, I guess, is probably a shonen as well. JJK's got really good story to it though. Um,
the thing is with like My Hero that gets me is it's like 8 episodes of filler, and they're
mhm.
like in a fight, and they're just like talking about the move they're gonna do,
Yeah,
and it's like just do the move,
that's
like
Naruto.
just
That's why I
do
couldn't
it,
do Naruto.
do it.
Because I
Yeah.
watched an episode and I was like, I could watch this. All right, this is all right. And then I watched 5 episodes. And it was the same battle, and I was like, it may not have been 5 episodes, but it was multiple episodes, same fight happening, and I was like, they need to wrap this up. Like this should have been 3 hours, 4 hours of content. And
Mm,
then I was like, well, it's filler, so I can probably just skip an episode, right? And it'll be fine. Skip an episode, no idea what's going on. I was like,
yeah,
this is awful.
yeah. I do like My Hero, but
I want to.
we canceled a couple of subscriptions, and I
Mhm.
can't remember. I think it was
Hulu or Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. We had Funimation and then Crunchyroll because they kind of like merged, and then we lost Hulu because we were like, yeah, we need to save money, and then we got so far behind. I think there were 2 seasons past where we stopped. We didn't even finish the season we're on. So yeah,
Have you watched JJK?
no, haven't.
You should add this to the list. Jujutsu Kaisen's really good.
Okay.
First season is good. I think it's enough to keep watching. Second season will like really blow your mind. You're like, oh wow, this is
Hmm.
like, really good.
Okay. Noted.
Um, yeah. Anyways, we'll get into the TV. Wrap it up here. Some really exciting TV news though. I think I'm excited for all three of these. We'll do the Disney stuff first. Andor season 2 got a trailer. Mostly them patting themselves on the back. A lot of that trailer is critics really liked this. It said it was the best show ever, and it is really good. It was just a weird ad to do that to you.
Yep.
But if you have not seen Andor, it is a prequel to Rogue One, which many would say is the best Star Wars movie. Most people would fight me on that, but it's a really good Star Wars movie. I would say Andor is season 1 is the best piece of Star Wars media that Star Wars has made, including the Star Wars movies. I wish more Star Wars was Andor. It doesn't feel like a Disney Plus show. Usually, I don't want to say 100%, but storytelling is really good. You said it looked very high budget.
Yeah, it did.
It has. There's like no Jedi or anything. There's not a lot of talk about the Force and stuff. It's literally just about a guy. I think he's just trying to make ends meet. Really need to rewatch the show, and gets kind of thrown into the rebellion, and so it's more of this like space espionage storyline. It's very cyberpunk in a lot of places, but without the Force and stuff, it feels even more like a cyberpunk show than a Star Wars show. And I thought that was really cool. And this trailer looks good. More tie-ins to the movie, which I think is neat, than season 1. Season 1 had a couple tie-ins, but you're really getting just Andor's story. Where now this season seems like it's probably leading into the movie a little bit more. So
Okay.
I'm excited. You should watch. If you're a Star Wars fan,
It's on my list. Yeah.
I haven't seen what's the new
It's on my
one?
list.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, I've actually heard that's really good, but I don't know.
I heard it was a kid's show, and I was like, we'll
Yeah.
see. But I'm also hearing good things about that. Jude Law's great, so
Yeah.
yeah. Andor, I probably overhyped it for you now, but it will. I think it'll surprise you as far as Star Wars goes. And then also really exciting if they do it well. John Berthal he's obviously returning for Daredevil, which will be coming out next week. Daredevil Born Again. But he's got a Disney Plus special in the works as Punisher.
That's cool.
I'm
excited.
Very excited. John Bernthal said at one point that he would never be that actor again without a good script. So hopefully that was true, and that he's sticking to that. Be that character again, not actor. Be that character again, without a good script. And so hopefully he's holding to that, and has a good story to tell. I think I really would have rathered a movie. I would have loved a Punisher movie, but a special would be a good place to get their feet wet with him. I think. I think the Punisher getting into an Armor Wars. I know Armor Wars has kind of been put on the back burner, but I think him getting involved with that storyline would be really interesting.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
And then the last story for the night, whenever you're listening to this, we do these in the evening. Avatar: Seven Havens is a new Avatar animated TV show, 2D anime. It's the Earthbender that comes after Korra, so quite a bit after the events of Korra. We looked this up because I've always been told, and I watched Korra, and this is what I had gathered, that the Avatar line was gone and no one else could be the Avatar again. We were reading before the podcast, make sure we had those facts right, and apparently the Avatar line isn't dead, but she did destroy all of... Big spoilers for Korra. No one cares about Korra. She did destroy all of the avatars except for herself. And then I can't remember the spirit's name. Rosh, whatever. It's like the actual avatar spirit.
I can't remember.
But it's just those two, which are not great mentors, so that's unfortunate. But I'm excited about this. So the last one took place in kind of the steampunkish 1920s, and this is, I'm hoping, taking place in the future will be a bit like you were hearing rumors about a cyberpunk show. I think this could be a cyberpunk TV show. Avatar and cyberpunk sounds amazing together. It's about an earthbender who has another twin, a long lost twin. And they are being attacked by people and spirits. Uncover their mysterious origins and save the Seven Havens before civilization's last strongholds collapse. So
It sounds really cool.
yeah, it sounds a bit medieval when you say like strongholds and like, or more Mad Maxian, I guess, is a way to, like, in my head when I hear like this big thing happened and then it's the, like, you know, end of the world and you have these havens. I would rather like a cyberpunky feel to it, so I'll have to see what happens. Hopefully the strongholds are city-esque. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, it's gonna be Mad Max.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. Because they've talked about doing different projects, and they've gone back and forth a few times.
Yeah.
But
I know for sure we're getting this.
I guess.
This has been talked about before. We didn't get this many details till now. But the show that was in the works, and then we have the Avatar movie, which is Team Aang, Boomerang, as adults. And that'll be a theatrical release. So definitely excited for that one. That is the TV news. You geeking out about anything else this week?
No, I've been pretty much consumed with Kingdom Come Deliverance. So
Nice. I'm probably gonna go play GTA
yeah.
Online. I'm going to a Viking festival Sunday. Excited for that.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's in Hot Springs. So
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
it's really cool. Very low key. It's like it's a state fairgrounds. So it won't be like a big festival, but excited for it nonetheless. Should have pictures of it on my Instagram, I assume. Cool. Where can I find you at?
They can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and maybe TikTok again at Different Lens Media.
Cool. You can find me on Instagram at Cody Geeking Out. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.